Hi, and welcome to JD's Long Box and another episode of JD's Sketchbook. This is part 3 of my series testing inking supplies, and this time we're looking at the Speedball Sketching Dip Pens. This set comes with 6 different nibs or tips. Now I have zero experience with these types of pens, so let's see how they work. After carefully cleaning and assembling my pens, I'm ready to go. You can see the tips slot into the handle, and this set comes with 3 different tips for each handle. This one has the number 56 tip. I'm once again using the Dr. Martens Black Star ink and the Strathmore Series 300 bristle board. I've set up a paper towel to catch any drips and a piece of typing paper to clean any excess from my pen. Okay, let's start with some straight lines. This one is making very fine lines. Even if I try holding the tip a different way. And I'll try using the back edge of the tip. This gives some really fine lines, even compared to holding it tipped down. That's a little trick I learned from comics artist Terry Moore. Now I'll try some circles. And with this tip, the lines stay consistent. It's funny, I have to keep remembering to reload my pen with ink. Unlike with a brush, you can't feel it running out. Here I'll try some lettering shapes, something I might run into the real world instead of just cross-hatching. And in freehanding all this, I really have to be careful where my letters go. Now I'll switch to the smaller handle and the number 108 tip. I picked this tip because it looked like it was very fine. But as you can see, the lines are not very fine. The more I use this, I see that the tip flexes and it's more dynamic, something more like a brush. I can get more unique line shapes from this. But not recommended for circles. It really scratches on the paper. It seems okay on shallow curves. And when I roll it over and use the back edge, it gives me razor sharp lines. I'll go over my lettering and do some shading. It's just so flexible, I don't know how much pressure I can put on it. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. And look, something you have to be careful with. I smudged my ink. But that's my lettering. And one more try at making some different line shapes. This one really has a lot of versatility to it, but it also needs a lot of practice to take advantage of what it can do. And that's my quick test of the Speedball Dip Pens, but that's not the end. I felt that I needed a real-world example to test these pens out further, so I just sketched out a little apple here, and I'll try actually inking it instead of just drawing a bunch of straight lines. I'll start with the stem. I'm using the number 56 again to get clean, predictable starting lines. And the leaf. I can stop right there and say, wow, look at my apple. But I want to push my test a little further. So I'll switch to the number 108 and start hatching in some shading. I try to imagine a light source coming from here and wrapping all my shadows around this way. And part of this is not relying so much on precision while I'm shading the darker parts. The versatility of this pen really shines in the lighter areas because I can sketch in really fine lines. And I can also use the flexibility to fill in the darker areas and shape my lines. And I'll give the apple a shadow on the table. And add a little more shading and some shape to the leaf. And there it is, the finished work. And my first test of the Speedball Dip Pens. I really hope you enjoyed this look at inking supplies. If you haven't already watched my other videos in this series, please go check them out. You can see my test of inking brushes and then micron pens. Be sure to give a like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And you can always check out the other videos on my channel where I review comics, movies, and more. Until next time, I'm JD, and this box is closed.